Was a lot of contact there, but you saw Taylor settle for the 3 early, and then there you see her in the next possession being able to be more aggressive. And here you see another steal from the Cardinals. This is exactly what they want to do. They want to make this a high-pace, high-tempo game and do that with their defense.
Taylor capitalizing on the other end, a 6-0 run for Louisville. Daniels, Cochran fading straight up and affected the shot. That's tough foul for Noble there. That's her second. Take a look at head coach Tina Langley. I mean, what a job she has done turning this program around. She's put together back-to-back top 15 recruiting classes there in Seattle. Last year, the Huskies put together 12 more wins than they did in the 2021 season, one of the biggest turnarounds in the entire country. Made it to the Fab Four of the WNIT last year as well. And oh, by the way, everybody that was on the team last year, nobody left, nobody transferred. There's Cochran again, has to kick it back out with 10 on the shot clock. Jefferson, long jumper off to the left, and Ricard's hustling for the rebound. Cochran flips one down to Harris, a lot of contact. Jefferson on the drive and gets it to go. Kiki Jefferson makes a ton of tough shots, Jasmine.
Absolutely. She really is a very talented shot maker.
There's a trap at the half court. Steins turns it over. Quickly up the floor. Cochran lays it in. And a timeout called by Washington and Coach Langley. What a statement coming off the loss to UConn. And it is 10-2 at home. Louisville out in front.
When you're great, you're
forcing turnovers, Jasmine, and that's exactly what they've done early on in this one.
Yeah, if you're Coach Walls, you have to be happy with how they have responded to that challenge in UConn to pick it up on the defensive end and execute the game plan. This is exactly how they wanted to start this game, and they're doing a great job so far.
A 10-0 run by the Cards forces a timeout called for Washington to try and reset. Louisville on a 10-0 scoring run. You know, Washington with that big win over Washington State. It was their first win in Pullman since 2019, but you know, to their credit, I'm not sure that they've played quite a defense like Louisville has, all that length. And you're seeing here again a trap on Ledeen, somehow able to get it up to Schwartz, open floor in front of her, and she lays it up and in. That will end the scoring drought, but I think Washington a bit lucky to get away with that one.
If the Huskies can maintain their composure against this pressure and really just be able to break that first line of it, you'll see it settle in and they'll have a little bit more success.
It's a good set on the defensive end there, and Steins will bring it up the floor. Sophomore from La Mirada, California. Here's Schwartz on the drive, left-handed layup is up and in. And Schwartz has all 6 of Washington's points here in the first.
That's a nice take. She's one of my favorite guards from Washington to watch in the ball screen. She makes good reads and good decisions.
Ricard's in and out on the other end, and Ledeen picks up the loose ball. See if Washington can go on a run here. Ledeen misses it all, and Jefferson with the rebound. Again, a lot of new faces on this Louisville team. All told, 6 transfers coming in this year. Marissa Russell shot off the mark. Russell, senior out of Ottawa, Ontario. All right, now it's time to take a look at tonight's Need to Know, brought to you by healthcare.gov. And we talked about at the top of the show, Jasmine, something's got to give here. You look at Washington, what they've done defensively this season, then of course what Louisville has done on the offensive side. These are 2 teams that get it done different ways.
Yeah, and you know, to start, the Cardinals are off to, you know, scoring the ball and showing that they can definitely get it done in that end, but they're actually the ones being more aggressive on the defensive end, whereas Washington is more scout specific. They're going to force you to take low percentage shots and then try to rebound those shots and get their offense going, where they can use a lot of the clock and take their time, as you see, to get their best shot.
Again, they're only allowing on average 45 points per game. That's best in all of Division I basketball. Delea Daniels, nice spin move. Had everything but the finish. Russell has it blocked by Steins. Hannah Steins looking to push a little bit here into the corner. That's a shot from Chloe Briggs that hits off the back iron.
Chloe Briggs can really get hot from the three-point line, so that's a good look for her.
That's a tough foul there. Cochran got knocked down by Lauren Schwartz. That's her first. Team third foul here with 3:51 to go in the first quarter. All 10 of Louisville's points have come in the paint. That is kind of how things have gone with the personnel this year. That's exactly how Coach Jeff Walz would like to see them score. Nice block there behind Daniels. Last touch by Cochran. That'll be a really interesting battle to watch all night long, Jasmine.
It will be. And Delea Daniels, she actually averages 1.6 blocks a game. So even though, she doesn't seem to look as physically strong as Cochran, she is able to hold her on down there.
Checking in the game, Savia Sellers, the freshman out of Anchorage, Alaska, number 0 for Washington. Actually leads the team, averaging a steal and a half per game, but she is a great point guard and one of the best players to come out of Alaska in the high school ranks. Here's Briggs, left-handed drive, knocked out of bounds. That's Easton Bulolu.
I would have liked to see Briggs kind of either keep her dribble if she didn't feel good about that shot and not kind of just make up her mind. I think she wanted that pass a little too bad and it wasn't there.
Sellers will take it out underneath the basket. 4.1 on the shot clock. It'll be Briggs, a long three. Off to the right, Jada Curry with the board. Curry looking to push. And Easton Bulolu couldn't handle the pass, but it was a good idea there from Jada Curry.
Definitely, and a good push. You kind of live with some of those when you're really trying to get out in transition, but definitely got to be ready for that pass. That could have been an easy finish at the rim.
So the Cards 0 for the last 5 from the floor. They started 5 for 8 here in the first quarter. Washington on a bit of a scoring drought as well. Sellers. Back out to Steins. Steins will try for 3. That's short. Slow start from beyond the arc for Washington. They're 0 for 4.
With the way that this game has started, though, the Huskies are in a good position. If they started off kind of rattled, turning it over, getting the Cardinals transition game going, but they're right here with a 6-10 game with the chance to, really get their rhythm going.
The 3 steals in the first couple of minutes that forced the timeout from Coach Langley, but since then they have not turned it over. It was a long shoot-around for Louisville and Coach Walz today, as expected, coming off the loss to UConn. Ball on the floor there and a jump ball possession arrow to Washington. But we got a chance to talk to Coach Walz, Jasmine, and obviously wasn't necessarily pleased with the outcome at UConn and had some, words of encouragement to his team earlier today during shoot-around. He said, I want to see how we respond today. And early on in this one, they responded well.
Yeah, he mentioned, the benefit of the portal is being able to get some experienced players that have done great things at other schools, but you're still learning as you go. The chemistry is still building, still learning people's personalities, and how they will respond to that game is what we'll see today.
I'm going to look at Coach Walz. 13 seasons with 20 or more wins. All-time winningest coach in program history. Trip to the Elite Eight last year. They lost to Iowa, but made it to the Final Four the year before that. Here's Daniels now.
Daniels has gotten a few looks around the rim, and she hasn't been able to finish, but I'd like to think they'll keep looking at that.
Good offensive rebound there for Taylor, but she couldn't finish the layup. And again, Louisville can't convert on the offensive end. Both these teams combined 0 for their last 12 from the floor. Daniels working on Istanbuloglu. Dumps it off there. Ladine fakes the shot and lays it up and in. El Ladine, the sophomore out of San Francisco, California. Missed again the last 2 games, and I'm sure they're glad to have her back.
That was a great pass by Daniels, and I love the patience from Ladine, who you see almost come away with the steal right there.
Jada Curry open for 3, too strong. Ladine was seemingly dragged down there. No whistle on Lily Love. We play on. Washington a chance to tie or take the lead. Excellent feed there from Ladine. Off to Delia Daniels, her first points of the game. Coach Walls talking to Jada Curry there as she was slow to get up. Foul against Savia Sellers. All right, here's our Friday night men's basketball doubleheader that begins at 6 Eastern. PJ Hall, number 18 Clemson, hosting Queens University at Littlejohn. Then Marcus Burton and Notre Dame hosting Marist at Purcell Pavilion in South Bend. Going to be a great evening of hoops right here on the ACC Network and, of course, on the ESPN app. Jada Curry, her second try from 3. She doesn't miss that. Little pep talk there from Coach Walls might have worked.
Yeah, exactly what they drew up, they got. They wanted that 3. Curry being aggressive in this game is going to be important. She was a great scorer at Cal, so to get some offensive production out of her is going to be good today.
You really like her game.
I do like her game. I think she's able to score it at all 3 levels. She's also able to make plays for her teammates. She's aggressive, a little small, but she makes up for it in the heart and the hustle.
Shayla Gilmer, number 22, into the game as Briggs answers on the other end. This Washington team has some shooters, and Chloe Briggs is one of them. At the buzzer here to end the first quarter, no good, but we are tied after 13. A lot of fans in attendance for Lauren Schwartz here from Union, Kentucky, and her team is tied with number 19 Louisville as we start the second quarter. Nina Ricards from the elbow, and she connects.
And that's her sweet spot. Nina Ricards is a great mid-range shooter. When she can get to that spot, she can knock that down.
Fans wanted a backcourt violation. They were not given it. And El Ladine slips one underneath. Back to Ladine now, and she lays it up and in. And Washington ties it up once again, 15-all.
The Huskies have had success a few possessions in a row, kind of with little touch passes in the interior of that paint right there. Good movement and being able to find each other.
It's now 10 points in the paint for Washington. They only had 2 points in the paint for the majority of the first quarter. And Ricards, same spot, same result. Nina Ricards with 6.
Told you, that's her sweet spot, and I would like to see her keep staying aggressive and looking to get those opportunities.
Ricards can also get it done on the defensive end as well. One of the better on-ball defenders for the Cards. Here's Sellers. Nearly taken away there. Lauren Schwartz fading away from the basket. Falls down to Sydney Taylor for the rebound. Curry, point blank, no good. Istanbuloglu fighting for the rebound. Good idea. Taken away, though, by Washington. They have numbers here with Briggs from 18.
I would have liked to see Taylor maybe ball fake that and make the extra pass to Curry on the wing. We all saw that opening, but by the time she was able to make the decision, it wasn't there anymore.
Ball knocked out of bounds will stay here with the Huskies. 11-0 start for Washington. That's tied for the best in program history. A win here tonight would indeed be the best start in program history, but an 11-0 start is certainly impressive when you consider the youth that is on this team as Sellers knocks down the 3 and Washington takes their first lead of the game since it was 2-0.
Sellers hasn't been too successful from there this season, so it's great to see her step up and make that shot with confidence.
Good follow there from Kiki Jefferson.
Kiki Jefferson in her career is a great rebounding guard. Her rebounding numbers are low right now compared to where she's been in her career, but definitely something she's capable of is being active on the glass.
So it looks like Washington has settled in a little bit here. Ledeen leaves that one short. Certainly on the turnover side of the basketball, taking much better care of the rock.
Yeah, Sam, when they're not turning it over, they're able to execute to the shots that they want. And there you see a great, strong physical take from Kiki Jefferson down the lane line.
So she was doing that a lot against UConn. Again, 19 points for Kiki, but she's averaging 16 points a game over the last 7. You see creeping up on the 2,000-point career mark. I think that's going to be a push there from Easton Bulolu, her first. Olivia Cochran will check back into the game for Elif. Olivia Cochran has been a leader for this Louisville program over the last 4 years. Preseason All-ACC selection. Off to a great start this year. Ball was picked up by Daniels. Into the corner, Schwartz open for 3, and she hits. Washington starting to heat up from beyond the arc after an 0 for 4 start.
That's a great shot and a great find by the Huskies, but a challenge for this Louisville team has been staying locked into the scout and giving up open shots, and that's something that Jeff Walz has challenged his team to do.
Schwartz with the takeaway here. Sellers will try again and hit her second of the game. Coming into this one, Jasmine, she'd only hit 10 on the year.
Yeah, and you know, watching the film, I've seen her get so many good shots and take them with confidence, but they just wouldn't fall. So for her to have 2 from behind the arc right now, they're definitely feeling good about that for her, for sure.
Washington fans on their feet here. What has been a quieted down KFC Yum Center. 6-0 run for Washington over the last minute. Cochran will try to end that. Well defended by Daniels. Cochran wanted the foul, though.
The Huskies starting to show why their defense is as good as it is. They have their lockdown defenders, but for the most part, they play great team defense and force you to take the shots you don't want to.
Ledeen in trouble, and she turns it over. Right into the hands of Cochran. Jefferson off the mark. Offensive rebound and the putback for Lily Love. There's just so much size and length on this Louisville team that it makes sense they will get quite a few offensive rebounds and second chance opportunities, and there was one for Lily Love. It's a 1-point lead for the Washington Huskies here on the road. Daniels, double team coming, kicks out. Sellers, too strong this time.
A little bit of a heat check. Glad she took it, though. It's a great shot to take.
And Ricard's unable to control that one. Quickly up the floor, and Coach Jeff Walz not happy with it. But we see country, and we're seeing it on display here so far, Jasmine.
Yeah, they do it as a team. Everybody doing their part together, locked into the game plan, and really putting together a solid defensive plan.
You see the stats through the years, and Tina Langley has obviously put a huge emphasis on the defensive side of the basketball. But how important is it to have those players under the system come back for another year and return? I got to imagine the cohesion means something on the defensive end as well.
For sure, it's huge, especially because there's philosophies, there's principles, there's all these things that you have to keep reteaching when you have new pieces. But when you have the cohesiveness of a returning group, you get to move forward instead of taking steps back.
So this was a strange turn of events here, but I believe the ball was thrown in on this side by Washington, and it never touched a player, which means that it would be taken out now by Louisville in the same spot. And that's exactly what the case is. Taylor, long jumper is good. Sydney Taylor averaging 11 points per game, good for 3rd on the team. Transfer from UMass.
And that's probably been her best in the system good shot that she's seen tonight. So it's good that she was able to knock that down and maybe get herself going a little bit.
Taylor, huge 3-point shooter. He had over 100 last year at UMass.
And we talked about how the Cardinals kind of, as the game settled, they lost that intensity on the defensive side. But here you see, after that timeout, they're back up in it. The ball hasn't even been given to the Huskies, and they're already matched up with their men, getting in passing lanes. I'd like to think that they would go back to some of that intensity. I
got to imagine it wasn't the friendliest of conversations between Jeff Walz and his players in that timeout. Under 4 to play here in the first half. It's a 1-point game between Louisville and Washington. Off-balance shot there from Briggs. Daniels hustling for the rebound there. Tegan Brown was in it as well, but Taylor comes up with it. Lily Love spinning in the paint. And no good, Daniels.
If Olivia Cochran's defender is going to sag that much off of her because she's not the biggest three-point threat, I'd like to see her make contact on those handoffs with the defensive player and be able to get her player downhill going toward the basket.
I'd imagine that opens up a ton for other opportunities offensively as well.
Absolutely.
Schwartz gets free off the screen. It's been a pretty physical basketball game, too, and to the referee's credit, we've let it play. Not a ton of whistles. Cochran had it poked away, and Daniels comes up with a steal.
Daniels showing why she's so good defensively. She can guard multiple positions. She is very active and, just kept her hands moving and came away with a poke.
Huskies will reset the offense. This is a team that will use the entirety of the shot clock and not have a second thought about it.
All the more reason for the Cardinals to take care of the ball. Otherwise, they're going to be defending for a full shot clock every possession.
That's what Coach Walz was telling us, too. He said, I'm not so much concerned with the first 20 seconds, but it's that last 10 that we have to be locked down defensively. Ricards takes the shot off to the right, and Brown with the rebound. Short corner for Briggs is good, and Washington retakes the lead.
Briggs is really a talented young scorer. She got some opportunity late when Ladine had been out for a few games, and she really maximized and did a great job with those minutes.
Cochran, quick jumper, and a little hook shot is good for Olivia Cochran. She's got 6.
Coach Walz talked about wanting to feed the post from the middle to eliminate any double teams, but what he really emphasized was his post players being able to make quick decisions. That was a great decision by Cochran right there.
Daniels too strong. Back the other way. Louisville looking to add to the lead here before the break. Taylor off the screen, and hits Sydney Taylor. She's got 6 points as well. Quickly up the floor, though. Schwartz too far under the basket. Out of bounds. It will be Washington basketball.
That was a great long outlet. Washington had a chance to go for, a 2-for-1 right there, but just didn't turn out the way that they wanted it to.
Ricards looks like she was a little shaken up on the play. Schwartz, hesitation. Taken away. Once again, another steal for Louisville. Shot clock is off and a 3-point lead. Where do you want to see Louisville go here in the final seconds of the first half?
Taylor hit 2 shots recently. Maybe keep it and go get her another bucket.
There's Taylor. Oh, what a beautiful layup for Sydney Taylor. And an excellent finish to this second quarter. And that will do it. Louisville ends it on a 6-0 run, and Sydney Taylor as we start the third quarter. Jasmine Thomas, Sam Ravitch, our wonderful crew here at Louisville. Daniels with the offensive rebound. Can't finish on the putback.
Daniels has done a great job at staying active around the rim and getting some good looks. She just hasn't been able to finish them, and some of them just have been a little bit out of control.
Kiki Jefferson backing down Schwartz, and Jefferson misses the layup, and Schwartz brings in the rebound with Jefferson draped all over. Schwartz, pull up from the elbow. Ricards on the board.
I don't know, maybe the refs have somewhere to be. They're pretty set on not calling a lot of fouls this game.
It is.
And there you see Kiki Jefferson respond to that miss in the previous possession with just a nice coast-to-coast left-hand take.
Kiki Jefferson now with 8 points on the evening. Corner three, Schwartz, no good. There's Cochran.
And a pretty big miscommunication in transition for the Cardinals to leave the leading scorer, one of the best players, wide open. They're lucky that Lauren wasn't able to hit that.
Schwartz led all scorers in the first half with 9 points. Went 4 for 8 from the floor, 1 for 2 from 3. Jefferson on Noble, has to pick up her dribble. Taylor's three is off the mark. Nyla Daniels with her 6th rebound of the game.
And that's how Taylor started the first half. She settled for some outside shots, didn't get a good rhythm, got subbed out, came back in later in the second quarter and really asserted herself by being aggressive and putting pressure on the defense.
That's the 3rd steal of the game for Ricards. She misses the layup on the other end. There's Harris with the and one. Nyla Harris, the sophomore out of Orlando, Florida, draws the contact from Daniels.
Nina Ricards, a great defender for this Cardinal team, and there you see her go coast to coast. Missed the layup, but her teammate has her back. Nyla Harris with the rebound and the finish for the and one.
I think we had some extracurriculars after the initial foul was called. Jeff Wall's out asking for some clarification there, and it appeared as if Kiki Jefferson might have been involved, but another look at it. Off the miss, there's Harris. Can't really see there. Jefferson was looking down, but the referees will take another look at this. We'll step aside for a short break. Louisville with a 35-26 lead, just getting underway in the 3rd quarter. All right, welcome back. Our referees are talking this over after the and one. Nyla Harris steps over Nyla Daniels, and then it looks like Kiki Jefferson added a little bit insult to injury there. We are waiting to see what the officials will determine this. Yeah, there you go. So Nyla Harris will go to the line to try and complete the and one opportunity, but the offsetting fouls there will be just that, offsetting. We won't shoot free throws after this, but I don't know. What do you make of that, Jasmine?
I mean, you mentioned it's been a physical game. Game getting a little chippy. Refs haven't been calling a lot, so I imagine that they'll probably try to hone it in here and really keep control of the physicality of this game.
So this will actually be the first free throw of the game, coming with 8 minutes left to go in the 3rd quarter. I think, look, being a referee is a tough job. You know that, Jasmine, playing, and I'm sure having your own fair share of disagreements with them. But, you know, when both players are involved, it's probably a little bit easier to just give the offsetting fouls.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, acknowledge, you know, the actions from both players and play on.
So after a long break, Harris does complete the and one, and it's now a 10-point lead for Louisville at home.
Hard to believe that's just the first free throw. This Louisville Cardinal team does a great job at getting to the line. So for that to be their first one in the game is surprising.
Ella Dean, the leading scorer for Washington, has been a little bit quiet in her first game back in about 2 weeks. Just 4 points, 2 for 4 from the floor. Noble bounce pass, good ball movement here. Steins short on the three. Washington now 4 for 14. That's 28% from long range tonight.
They aren't executing as sharply as they probably would like or that they usually do. You know, the pass is a little off mark and the shot just didn't go in because, you know, she had to kind of gather it and get it into her pocket. The Huskies do a lot of passing and actions and moving without the ball. So this defensive pressure, and there you see a great three finally go down for Ella Dean.
We were just mentioning her, was quiet in the first half. Pac-12 all-freshman team honorable mention last season as a freshman. Finished the year tied for number 1 on the program's all-time list for games played as a freshman, too. She played in 34 games for the Huskies last season.
It would be fun to see her get going. You know, of the guards on this Huskies team, she's a creative, crafty scorer. It's pretty fun to watch. So hopefully that'll get her going.
A lot of contact there. Referees say play on, and Hannah Steins ends up with the loose ball. Physicality continues.
But you see the Huskies slowing it down, taking their time, making sure that they get the shot they want.
That's a good slip, but Daniels couldn't finish.
And her hard time around the rim continues.
Jefferson rejecting the screen there. Louisville a little bit discombobulated on the offensive side here. Taylor dumps one down, and Harris finishes on a broken play.
It's a really good find. I like that she took her time. Her teammate was kind of on her back. Cochran ran into her a little bit, and she still was able to make a great play and find her teammate under the basket.
Some more full court pressure there as Ricards gets a hand in, and it's off of Steins. And Nina Ricards is a problem on defense.
She's their best on-ball defender, and there you see why she is so important to this Cardinals defense.
All right, we got a little gift for you starting Christmas morning. Celebrate the day and the holiday season with the ACC mascots. Starts at 6 a.m. Eastern and runs every hour through 4 o'clock. Just our way of saying thank you to our viewers. Be tuning into that little Christmas morning.
Jada Curry looking to try to get it in on the mismatch down low with Nyla Harris and Savia Sellers.
That's Russell fading away. Marissa Russell, the senior out of Ontario. A funny story, actually, when Marissa was playing for Canada's U19 team in 2019, it was a USA team coached by Jeff Walls that they lost to.
Cool little connection there as you hear it get real loud in the Yum Center.
It is a packed house here tonight and a foul at midcourt.
These fans can feel it, I think, you know, midway through the third quarter here, and the Cardinals have all the momentum.
That's the second foul on Savia Sellers. How do you explain that? How do you explain a team shooting that high of a clip, but also their defense holding opponents, you know, to about 60 points per game?
I think it's just, you know, the Cardinals have the length and athleticism to, you know, get the deflections, to get in passing lanes, to do these stifling traps to turn teams over. And they're showing that they can do that. But the growth area is in the quarter court, being locked into the scout, communicating, being disciplined, and not giving teams open shots. Those high field goal percentage numbers come from teams getting open shots against them.
That's probably a good foul there from Sydney Taylor there as Ladine had a bunch of open floor in front of her. That's the second on Sydney Taylor. Prior to that, Savia Sellers picked up her third for Washington.
That's going to be, you know, that could be tough for them late as Sellers is one of their primary defenders.
And a quiet third quarter for Lauren Schwartz here. All 6 of her points came in the first half. Sellers, oh my goodness. Savia Sellers with 3 threes in this game. Again, she only had 10 coming into tonight as Daniels knocks away the entry pass. A scrum forward on the ground, and possession arrow points to Louisville. How about Savia Sellers tonight, Jasmine?
I mean, just staying confident. She hit 2 in the first half, and she's like, hey, why not size up the defense and knock down the 3?
Sellers with 9 points, freshman out of Anchorage, Alaska. She left the state as the all-time leading scorer with over 2,600 points in her high school career. And Coach Walls calls timeout. In danger of a 5-second violation there. Washington has cut the deficit to 8 with 3:47 to go in the third.
When you're great, your game does the talking. In the ACC, ours speaks volumes. 26 appearances in the Final Four, including 9 different schools. 5 teams in the last 5 NCAA Final Fours. 40 teams in the NCAA tournament in the last 5 years, most of any conference. A nation best 8 ACC teams competed in the 2023 NCAA tournament. It's not bragging if it's true. Greatness is what we do. The ACC, accomplish greatness.
All right, welcome back. As you get set to ring in the New Year Sunday, we'll have a women's basketball quadruple header right here on the network. Starts at noon Eastern. Number 21 Florida State hosting Wake Forest. Then it'll be number 14 Notre Dame squaring off against the Cuse, followed by 19th ranked Louisville taking on Miami. And cap off the day with number 3 NC State and UVA. We wish everybody a happy and healthy New Year. Russell on the miss, can't convert. There's Harris, and she puts it back up and in. How about Harris on the glass today, converting on some second chance opportunities for the Cardinals?
Yeah, I mean, she's showing that she's going to keep getting her team extra possessions, and she's absolutely going to finish when she gets them. There you see, just staying active. Louisville relentless on the glass. Nyla Harris comes up with it and finishes at the rim.
It's now 9 offensive rebounds in this game. Compared it with Washington's 3. Sellers loses the handle. Will be Washington basketball.
Good time to mention that the Cardinals also have 11 second chance points in this game.
Daniels chases it down. Daniels, strong drive, just couldn't finish. Seen a couple of those tonight from Daniels, Jasmine.
We have, and you know, it could be the physicality, it could be the size. When she's had some good looks, they haven't fallen. So maybe it would be nice to see her get to the free throw line, kind of, you know, gather on 2, get fouled, and get something easy at the line.
10 on the shot clock. Curry, open for 3, too strong. Harris, once again on the offensive rebound, puts it up and in with the left.
And flexes on him on the way back. I love it.
Nyla Harris with 9 points. She leads all scorers for Louisville tonight. And a timeout for head coach Tina Langley in Washington.
Nyla Harris has been extremely active on the offensive glass. And there you see her, not giving up on the play, flexing on him after the putback.
4 for 5 from the floor for Nyla Harris in this game. Now, Jeff Walls rarely leans on freshmen, Jasmine, but he had to do so last year. Nyla Harris, you know, started the last 15 games of the season after coming off the bench for the better half of the first half of the year. And you just see Louisville that much better in front of what is one of the best home crowds in the entire country here at the KFC Yum Center.
Yeah, you know, and Coach Walls talked about trying to find that player on the team that is gritty, that is tough. I think it might be Nyla Harris.
Could
you
be.
know, she communicated, you know, in shoot around. I noted how much she was talking defensively as a leader. And, you know, just to be a sophomore and be able to do that, that's impressive. And here, the way that she's attacking that glass and finishing and talking her junk, you know, I think that might be the player.
And Coach Jeff Walls likes that. He likes players that are gritty and tough. Sellers again! 4 threes for Xavier Sellers tonight. And she is almost solely responsible for keeping Washington in this game in the second half.
And you can see it when it leaves her hand. She knows it's going in. I love the confidence that she's shooting with.
Curry thought about it. Now we'll pull it back out. Harris has a size advantage on Ladine. 5 to shoot. Harris slips to the basket. A lot of contact, no foul. And now Sellers picks it up. Oh, she'll try again. In and out. That was halfway down for Sellers. Back and forth we go. Harris picks up the dribble. And Louisville will slow it down for the moment and set up a play on offense.
I love to see freshmen show up in big moments, so I've wanted to see that one go in for her.
Over the head of Cochran, tough pass. And a less than pleased Jeff Walls there. Clock winding down, 1:12 in the third quarter.
Xavier Sellers having herself a night from the three-point line as she knocks down her 4th triple of the game.
She's second on the team in assists. Great spot-up shooter, as we can see, and you see there. How about that? The only girl or boy from Alaska nominated to the 2023 McDonald's All-America game. And you know, Jasmine, this, what is there, 700, nominees at times for McDonald's All-American. Obviously not everyone plays in that game, but honorable mention and whatnot. Impressive stuff for Xavier Sellers.
Yeah, absolutely. A credit to what she did in her high school career and also showing the type of impact she can have in the future for the Washington Huskies.
And finally, Delia Daniels will go to the free throw line for the first time tonight. It's been a struggle for Delia, just 1 for 8 from the floor tonight.
I like to see it, though. This is what I talked about, her having an easy look at the basket here from the line. Might be what gets her going.
That's the 3rd foul on Sydney Taylor as well. She's really the only Louisville player that is in some foul trouble. All right, once again, our Friday night men's basketball doubleheader begins at 6 Eastern. PJ Hall putting together an All-American season right now for Clemson as they host Queens University at Littlejohn Coliseum. Then it's Marcus Burton and Notre Dame hosting the Marist Red Foxes at Purcell Pavilion in South Bend. It's going to be a great evening of hoops right here on the ACC network and on the ESPN app. .45 to play in the third quarter. Washington has kind of quietly creeped back into this game. Louisville had a 12-point lead at one point in this third quarter. Curry on the drive. Layup no good, and Daniels had positioning there. That's an over the back.
Daniels struggling from the field today, but you can see that she's still having a tremendous impact on this game. She has 6 rebounds, I believe, 2 blocks, and you saw her there get beat by a smaller defender off the dribble, and immediately she's calling to her teammate to help her, communicating and keeping her team locked in on the defensive end.
That's the 4th foul on Sydney Taylor, and she kind of actually just sat down behind the bench there, appearing to not be feeling great. And checked out by the training staff. But now Washington in the bonus, so they'll be shooting the rest of the way. There's Taylor getting checked out there with 4 fouls. So Daniels will go to the free throw line here. Watch number 1 there. Daniels 1 for 2 at the stripe. Shot clock is off for Louisville. They have a lead, 44-38. Russell on the drive. Tough shot. That's off the mark. And we head to the 4th. It's a 6-point lead for the 5 players with 5 or more points for Jeff Walz' squad.
Yeah, we've seen a few different players just have their moments.
Yeah, that's well put.
And no one has really gone off and got real hot, but they're doing it by committee.
So it comes down to the fourth. And a foul might have bailed out Washington there. And Lily Love whistled for it. That's her first. All right, so final 10 minutes here, Jasmine. How about a couple of keys for both sides?
For Washington, definitely keep taking care of the ball. They started off turning it over, and the game looked ugly for them at that point. So as soon as they were able to get a control of that, they've been pretty good since. And I would say for Louisville to keep focused on the defensive end, keep that intensity up. Remember that that's part of their identity is turning teams over and getting out in transition.
Steins, no good at the buzzer, though. Daniels able to beat it. And it's a 4-point game. The crowd not too pleased. They thought there might have been a push-off there from Steins or maybe a travel. One or the other. They're not pleased.
Since those free throws by Daniels, you see her look a little bit more composed, a little bit more settled. As you see her come up with that rebound, she has to chase it down and fight off of Jada Curry.
I'll tell you what, Jasmine, it is not easy to get a rebound tonight. I mean, you have got to fight for it.
Absolutely. Both teams are being extremely aggressive and physical. You see a lot of good box outs. Credit to these coaches, teaching that. But, yeah, it's tough down there.
Got to get the ice packs ready for both sides after tonight. Sellers, will it be 5? Not this time. Washington's hit 7 threes tonight. Xavier Sellers has hit 4 of the 7. Nice step through there for Kiki Jefferson, and a jump ball. Possession will stay with Louisville.
I know Sellers has been hot from the three-point line, but I would say that's a very young decision right there. She's been hot, she's been hitting them, so she's anxious to make that next one instead of recognizing that now they're respecting her from the three-point line. So the Cardinals are running out at her, closing out really hard. She can attack some of those closeouts and maybe get a pull-up jumper or get all the way to the rim.
Louisville trying to get Olivia Cochran back involved in the game, and that's a good start. Cochran with 8 points.
Yeah, she's been pretty quiet since the first half, but she's a player that actually uses a lot of shot fakes when I watch her play. So, I'm not surprised to see her get that bucket there after a shot fake.
Whistle off the ball. I think that's a moving screen on Delia Daniels. That's her third. And Kiki Jefferson, a little slow to get up here. Coach Walls will come out and check on his star player. The call was a moving screen on Delia Daniels of Washington, and Jefferson hit the deck.
And this game, to the last second, is going to stay physical.
It sure is. One foul apiece for both teams here in the fourth quarter. Nyla Harris has had a really solid game on the glass for Louisville. Posting up underneath.
With the mismatch down low, Nyla Harris still has it. She has Chloe Briggs on her, but the Cardinals don't seem to notice.
Curry gets to the paint. Tough shot and a tough make for Jada Curry. She's got 5 points in the game. What a pickup in the portal for Coach Walls to get Jada Curry from Cal.
Yeah, and she is like that. She can make those type of shots. She can really string off a lot of points quickly.
You hear that Louisville crowd coming to life here. Schwartz thought about the three.
Schwartz had a hot first half. He's been pretty quiet lately.
Nice move from Daniels and spinning off of Cochran.
Showing you some of her versatility, being able to take it off the dribble. And like I said, settling in, finishing.
And a block from behind. If that's on Daniels, it's her fourth. It is indeed her fourth.
Here you see the explosive Jada Curry getting down a lane line with a tough finish on 3 defenders. And then back on the other end, Delia Daniels has a tough take with the spin move of her own.
That's going to be big, though. That's 4 on Daniels, and a huge player, not only in productivity, but also just sheer size. for Washington. They do not have a lot, so Jada Noble will check back into the game. Daniels to the bench with 4.
Especially because Daniels looks comfortable now.
Yeah.
You know, it's a bad time for her to be going out, but I imagine with her experience, she'll sit for a little bit, and then Coach Langley will expect her to be able to get in this game, close it out without fouling out.
What time do you think in the game you bring her back in? I mean, if it's still close.
I think as long as it's close, you let her sit a little bit, maybe if possible till about the 3-minute mark. If not, she might have to get back in here and just play smart.
Cochran makes them both. Back to an 8-point lead for the Cards. Certainly a smaller lineup here for Washington. Five to shoot. Steins looking for help. Here's Chloe Briggs. And she got fouled by Curry with the shot clock at 2.9 seconds. That is a foul that coaches just, well, they're not big fans of. Say that.
And I mentioned that Delia Daniels is a great facilitator for this Washington team. And you see instantly as she goes out, there's an offensive possession where Louisville is able to be disruptive and they don't have a flow.
Shot clock winding down again. Savia Sellers has hit 4 threes in this game. She'll try again. Rattles off the front of the rim, and Cochran reels it in.
Had a good look at it, but again, I'll say with the shot clock running down, refs calling it a little more now, trying to control the physicality, there's an opportunity for her to get to the rim and draw some contact.
Harris has the size advantage underneath on Briggs. Cochran is trying to get it to her. Harris is calling for it.
Harris still has the mismatch, but she's on the three-point line now.
Oh, that's a tough foul on the freshman. Savia Sellers fouling Jada Curry on the shot. She'll shoot 3, and that's number 4 on Savia Sellers. Freshman mistake?
Freshman mistake. You know, knowing the scouting report, to her credit, she knows Jada Curry is a great three-point shooter, so she wanted to stay close, but, you know, not a great time to foul right there and give her 3 shots at the line when the shot clock was running down.
Looks like Elif Istanbuloglu will check into the game for Olivia Cochran.
It makes me happy to see Elif get out here. I actually played for Fenerbahce for a season and a half and got to spend some time around her. So it's always cool when you see talent from overseas come to college, develop.
ACC PM with Mark Packard, Taylor Tannenbaum, weekdays from Mark's basement in the Charlotte studio at 4 Eastern. They'll continue talking college football, even though Florida State gypped after a perfect season. Of course, have the latest from around the conference right here on the network and the ESPN app. Is there a team that you really like in the ACC right now? Obviously, this is going to be one of the tougher conferences in the country. Louisville has played well. It's hard not to look at NC State and like what they have done so far this year.
Yeah, I really like how NC State has been playing with some confidence. You can tell they got that chip on their shoulder starting off the season unranked. They've really done a great job so far. I'm a huge Georgia Amore fan. I love watching her play, so I like Virginia Tech for that reason. And then I got to shout out my big Blue Devils. They're young. They have a lot of growth that can be done throughout the season. They started off strong, and, you know, I'm excited to see how they continue to grow throughout this season.
Cards pick up the loose ball and take it back down the other way. And there really hasn't been a ton of turnovers in this game, just 11 for Washington, as you saw on that graphic. Lily Love. Too hot to handle for Istanbuloglu, and Lauren Schwartz in the open floor picks up her dribble. Washington's got to get something going here on the offensive end.
And Washington's not a team that plays fast, but with the deficit, they're going to need to try to increase the amount of possessions that they can get, or definitely score when they do get some, because you see the Cardinals on the other end taking their time to score.
It's a 9-point lead for Louisville Washington will have the ball when we return. 4:20.
Be changing some coverages to try to turn the Cardinals over and get some more possessions.
How about on the offensive end?
On the offensive end, score quick. You know, they're used to being patient and getting their best shot. They can still get their best shot, but they're going to have to get some shots on goal faster.
Ladine picks up the dribble. She's in trouble here. 3 to shoot. Has to hoist one. Misses everything. And Ricards brings it in.
And on the other side, you know, this is a challenge for the Cardinals to be able to manage the end of this game. You know, they take their time, get the looks that they want. Don't lose their style. They still want to keep some pace to this game, but definitely want to manage this clock.
It's an offensive foul on Elif Istanbuloglu. That's her second.
And that's a good turnover for the Huskies to have forced. They get the ball right back with a chance to score.
Washington's got to go here, and clock's running down under 4. Schwartz, wide open, Briggs for 3. They need it. Off the heel, and an offensive rebound. Good hustle play from El Ladine.
Yeah, they got a great look at a 3. I love the urgency by Ladine to chase down that rebound, but a costly turnover.
Had a mismatch underneath with Daniels as well. Couldn't get her the ball.
And there you see, the Cardinals are going to take their time. So I would like to see Ladine pick up, maybe force the Cardinals to play a little fast and, you know, get them into some tough decisions.
Harris, that's an easy 2. 53-42, and Louisville starting to pull away here. They are nearing their largest lead of the game, which was 12 back in the third quarter.
And I love the game that Harris has played tonight. She has been great around the rim for the Cardinals. Just finishing.
Jeff Walz fired up after the timeout called by Washington. Huskies down to their final timeout. An 11-point lead for Louisville. All right, as you get set to ring in the New Year's Sunday, we'll have a women's basketball quadruple header right here on the ACC Network. It starts at noon Eastern time. Number 21, Florida State, hosting Wake Forest. And number 14, Notre Dame squaring off against Syracuse, followed by the 19th-ranked Louisville Cardinals taking on Miami, capping off the day. Number 3, NC State and UVA. We wish everybody a happy and healthy new year. I'm going to look at the ACC storylines. You know, this conference has continued to grow in popularity, in difficulty. And the Wolfpack continue to win. 4th 11-0 start under head coach Wes Moore. You go back to those teams with Elisa Canane on them, and that's kind of the start they've gotten off to this year. Number 3 in the country. Good ball movement here from Washington. Daniels on the dribble drive, drew the contact and the finish. How about that?
I love that decision. You know, maybe not the strongest three-point shooter on the team, even though she's capable. So the shot clock's winding down. She keeps on her composure. She doesn't rush. You see Daniels take Cochran off the dribble and just finish with the contact.
Daniels playing with 4 fouls. 11 points, 9 rebounds. 1 rebound away from a double-double. She's got 2 double-doubles this season. And converts the 3-point play.
I love the bounce back of her from the first half to the second. Daniels really turned it around, and she's put together a solid game for herself.
Louisville wanted to take care of the ball here. Jeff Walz was emphasizing in shoot-arounds today, we can't turn the ball over.
Especially not now.
Shot clock winding down. Curry got to make something happen. Able to get it off. It's no good, and it falls into the hands of Lily Love, who lays it up and in.
Right place, right time for Lily Love.
Out of bounds. Last touch by who? It will be Louisville basketball. 10-point lead with 1:50 to go. Washington's undefeated start to the season could be dwindling away here. Now, Washington, outside of a Thanksgiving trip to Hawaii to play a tournament, this is actually their first road trip out of the state of Washington.
And I think you see Washington doing a little offense-defense with Steins and Noble. Noble, one of their better defenders, has been quiet offensively in this game, is quiet offensively for the Huskies in general, but she's on the floor right now in some key minutes of this game.
It's going to be Louisville basketball. Some more full-court pressure here.
I would have liked to see the Huskies maybe put this pressure on a little sooner.
Double team coming. And we get a timeout in there. Coach Langley called one in time. Was that a foul? Yes, timeout called by Louisville, actually.
Yeah, I mean, the pressure is getting to them. Here you see back-to-back possessions. Washington extending their pressure. It's not something that they have done this game, but seeing an opportunity for some success here, and this is what they would need to do in order to cut this 10 points.
It's been a tough stretch for Louisville, and the tough stretch will continue. Again, just coming off that 24-point loss to UConn on Saturday. They have looked better today, and you see what they have coming up. At Miami against Duke. At Pitt will be on the call for that one, Jasmine, and then against Wake Forest and at Clemson. But the next, two games are going to be a challenge, and really will kind of see where Louisville's at this season. But if they can hold on to a win here, that will be a good rebound after the loss.
Especially getting into conference play. We know how tough the ACC conference is.
That's a foul on Sellers. That'll be her fifth. What a game for Sabia Sellers, though. I mean, a freshman to come into this atmosphere and do what she's done.
Yeah, she's got a great career ahead of her. She was confident today. She knocked down a lot of threes, especially at a time when her team really couldn't get anything going. Yep. She was a bright spot for them.
12 points for Sellers, so she heads to the bench with 5 fouls. Curry pass too high for Nyla Harris.
You love when your team, especially a lot of scorers from different schools, come together and try to be unselfish. And that's something we heard them working on a little bit in shoot-around, is being able to make shots for others. But right there, Jada Curry needs to be a little selfish and take that shot. She got a nice one.
Jada Curry was a player who was just a pure bucket getter at Cal. Led the Pac-12 in scoring her freshman year, 18.5 points per game.
And I see that for her here with the Cardinals as well. It's just feeling it out. Everybody adjusting to roles, adjusting to new teammates.
Blocking foul goes against Nyla Harris. Under a minute to go.
Nyla Harris coming over from the strong side. Just a little late, still moving a little bit. Doesn't get the charge, gets called for the block instead.
So Lauren Schwartz at the free throw line. Again, 200 family and friends in attendance tonight. This is the first time that her family has been able to see her play a basketball game in person. The extended family. They usually gather in the Schwartz's family basement back in Union, Kentucky, and watch all of the Washington games, but now getting to see it up close and personal. And Lauren Schwartz, really good first half. Wasn't really able to get it going in the second. Here's a takeaway for Schwartz. And Lauren Schwartz can't finish on the layup. Up the floor to Olivia Cochran, and she will lay it in. And that'll seal it, most likely, for Louisville. 45 to play. And a 10-point deficit for Washington. Long three for Schwartz, off to the left. And a whistle, Cochran hustling for the rebound. That's going against Chloe Briggs for Washington. Well, your thoughts, Jasmine? I mean, this has been a physical game between these two teams. Top 25 programs. They can't discount the turnaround that Coach Tina Langley has done over there in Seattle. You know, out to an 11-0 start. They'll pick up their first loss tonight, but Washington will certainly be a team to be reckoned with down the stretch in the Pac-12. And then Louisville, off the loss to UConn, they did what they needed to do tonight.
Yeah, for sure. You know, it's tough for the Huskies to get their first loss. Done a lot of great things in the program history, but this is so much season left. You know, they play in a very tough, talented Pac-12 conference. Plenty of tests coming up for them here in the future for them to respond to. But credit to the Louisville Cardinals for coming out here today and really taking the challenge from that UConn game and showing growth. I think if you're Jeff Walz, you're happy in a lot of areas, but you obviously, like every coach, you still see opportunities to continue to get better in other areas.
That last inbounds pass looked like Michael Penix to Roma Dunze for Washington. That was impressive. And a jump ball is called with 7 seconds to go. Washington will get possession. There's another one in the open floor, and Schwartz will lay it in. Coach Wall's not going to like how this has ended with some of those open passes, but here's an answer.
We're seeing back-to-back long outlet football passes.
Yeah, look like quarterback passes. That'll do it here inside the Yum Center. 59-51 is your final. Yeah, this was just the second time these two teams have met on the hardwood